Autosexual is individuals who experience sexual attraction primarily and exclusively towards themselves. They are only sexually attracted to themselves, nobody else. Welcome to the Secret Life Podcast. Tell me your secret. I'll tell you mine. Sometimes you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. That's what I did. After 12 years of recovery in sex and love addiction, I finally found my soulmate, myself. Please join me in my novel, Secret Life of a Hollywood Sex and Love Addict, a 4-time bestseller on Amazon. It's a brutal, honest, raw, gnarly ride, but hilarious at the same time. Check it out now on Amazon. Welcome to Secret Life Podcast. I'm Brianne Davis-Gantt. Today I'm pulling back the curtains of all kinds of human secrets. We'll hear about what people are hiding from themselves or others. You know those deep, dark secrets you probably want to take to your grave? Or those lighter, funnier secrets that are just plain embarrassing. Join me each week as we take a deep dive into one subject matter, exploring the how, what, when, where, and why of it all. Get ready for a more focused, more revealing journey of the human experience. This is Secret Life, and I'm excited for you to join the ride. Today, we are talking about, autosexuality. Yes, autosexuality. This is something new that I have not ever talked about with anybody because it is something new I have learned about. Autosexual is individuals who experience sexual attraction primarily and exclusively towards themselves. They are only sexually attracted to themselves, nobody else. Yes, so I always think like these are asexual people, but they're not because they are turned on by themselves, with themselves. They do have sexual partners, but they're more turned on and aroused thinking of themselves. So let's like dig in. So I do know a Kardashian, which I am not a fan of the Kardashians. I do not watch the Kardashians. I've never watched one of their shows. I've skimmed past it. I am not interested, but I think it was Courtney came out as a autosexual. So there's some articles I saw about her saying she's autosexual. So you can read up, but on her, but she came out as an autosexual. So this is where they find sexual pleasure and arousal primarily through self-stimulation and fantasizing involving their own body rather than needing a partner. So yes, like masturbation, but when they are even sexual with partners, it's the thoughts of their own body, looking at their own body, seeing their own body. And it could lean into an intimacy disorder where they can't participate with somebody else. So it's all about their own body. And I do have a client that I think has this, and I have not actually told her. But when I go into all the characteristics of autosexual and autosexuality, she hits a lot of these markers. So I'm sure she is listening and she is piping up. Her ears are like, what? And she's going to know who I'm talking about. So let's do the key aspects right now that come up immediately about autosexuality. Number 1, they focus on themselves. Sexual activity, pleasure centers around their own body. So there's an obsession. It doesn't mean they're asexual. So it doesn't fall into that spectrum where they still experience romantic attraction to others. So there is romantic attraction and fantasy towards others. They are not binary. They usually are they identify as being attracted to people. So they're not like binary. Their identity is not, I just am autosexual. They're usually just heterosexual. They can be bisexual. Does this make sense? So I just don't want you to get confused. It is not a mental issue. It is not a psychological disorder. But I do, when I looked into it, think it is an intimacy disorder because there's a part of you that goes into this obsession with self. So you tend to pick partners even or be attracted to people that kind of look like you. So specifically, I'll use this one client. She is bisexual or finds women attractive, and the women she chooses, or even the friends she has that she finds attractive, look similar to her. There's this attraction to people that look similar to her. And it's not, and this is another thing, it's not necessarily narcissism, right? There's characteristics of narcissism, but it's not a personality disorder. There's just a sexual preference that there's a part of you that finds you attractive, and you're attractive to those traits in other people. Yes, they are rooted in self-love and acceptance, but it's in a sexual nature and sexual preference. Okay, here's another one. This is it's also tied into, I think, where you masturbate early. So you got pleasure from masturbating very, very early at a young age to self-soothe, and it's taken on a form of self-stimulation through fantasies in your brain to connect to oneself. And then it's gone into adulthood where to give sexual pleasure, you then connect to parts of yourself and with other people. So to do that, you have to almost see that yourself and other people and then connect to yourself with it. Does that make sense? This is confusing, but I'll get to all of it in the end. It will all make sense. This is not a new phenomenon. This autosexual was coined in 1989. So this has been around, but it's important to understand that we all are attracted to people that have parts of us in them. So I just want to make it clear. People are attracted to people that have parts of them in them. So here are the signs. You might have autosexuality. Just look at this. You get turned on by looking at your own body. You know, lots of people put mirrors over their bed or look in the mirror, or want to have sex in front of a mirror or look at themselves. There's no problem with this. So just because you like looking at yourself in the mirror, it doesn't mean you're definitely, but this is a huge sign. You might have a little bit of autosexual in you. You like to see yourself or experiencing looking or filming yourself. So this is a part of it. Number 2, you have erotic fantasies about yourself. So you might have dreams that are connected. You have fantasies about how you are with other people, how other people see you. So your subconscious mind might be sending that signal to your brain. Number 3, you enjoy spending time alone. You really enjoy your own company. You like going on solo trips. You shop by yourself. You like spending that alone quality, peaceful experience with yourself. Number 4, you are secretly afraid of being judged, mocked, and ridiculed. Oh, this is a big one. Because things weigh on your mind, you often fear that others judge you and you feel different. So inside, there's a part of you that are insecure, that you take things very deeply personal. And then there's a fear of intimacy with others. So you then go into self and you connect to yourself more than you connect to others. This is the intimacy problem. And number 5, you love yourself more than you love others. This is a bit, it gets a little tricky with the narcissism bit. You should love yourself more than others. Yes, but it comes with a little bit of I'm going to give a side note that you would rather excite yourself and connect to yourself and give self pleasure than give it to somebody else. And that sometimes if you're being, let's say, I'll give you an example, sexual with somebody else, you kind of want to get it over with. It's mostly more about experiencing it for yourself and getting that other part with the other person done and over with. So you find you want to just like, oh, get them out of the apartment, get them out of the bed. I'm done now. I want to be alone. So you are feel more connected being alone and intimate in your own beauty, your own body, and you find deeper connection and attachment to yourself and a sense to yourself. Number 6, you find people who look like you very, 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 very attractive. And that's where I said this one specific client, when I put all these things together, she loves masturbating. She loves women that look like her. She people that have characteristics similar to her. people that like her music, concerts, love the vibe she gives. She likes spending time alone. She loves her body, like all these things. I'm like, autosexuality, I think that is a thing. But the last one, you find people that are very attractive that look like you. And so there's a part, this is not weird. This is just a part that there is something about you appreciate the way you look and you find it very attractive and it turns you on. And so when you see that in other people, that stimulates the attractiveness you have in yourself. Bottom line is, unlike any other sexual orientation, it is a celebration, if you look at it, of self-love, self-attraction, self-fulfillment. That if you do it in a healthy way, there's no fucking judgment. I don't got any judgment as long as you do it in a healthy way. Are you connecting to yourself? And then allowing others to connect to you, have intimacy with you. If you are doing it in a way where it isolates you and you turn into an avoidant, that's not healthy with anything. And if it goes to extreme where it keeps you from society because humans are supposed to be having connection, then that's something to look at. And I definitely think with my client specifically, it's actually an intimacy issue and an avoidant tactic. So there is ways that she can still appreciate the autosexuality of herself, but can still connect to other people in a healthy way and have real intimacy. But it's just ranking your pleasure is important. Your connection to yourself is important. Exploring yourself and strengthening your emotional bond to yourself is important, but also seeing the importance of this other person. And it's just not about your sexual pleasure. So I don't want, if any of these characteristics rang true for you, I don't want you to think anything is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with any of us. It's just, is it being done in a healthy way? Because autosexuality is a type of sexuality and you're appreciating yourself, and that's a beautiful thing. I don't want to take that away from anybody. But if you do it in a way where you're isolated, where you're alone, where you masturbate frequently, where you're literally by yourself and only seeking partners that have characteristics of you, that could be turning into narcissism. And that's never a good thing. And that can turn into a personality disorder. So I just want you to look at, are you doing these things so extreme that it's taking you away from society? If it is, look at it. Is this turning into an intimacy disorder? Is this keeping me away from people? Is it keeping me away from society that I wanted to connect to? And this is for you, go, what are 3 ways that I can get more connected to the outside world and still appreciate myself and appreciate my sexuality? And that's what I want you to look at. You don't need to look for a cure, but you need to look at the compulsive sexuality behavior that is behind autosexuality. And so that involves talk therapy with someone, self-help groups that can help. And that is where you can look at helping yourself. Lower the intensity, limit the circumstances behind it, and going, do I need to act in this behavior right now, or do I need to get out in the world and connect more with other people? So I hope that helps you. I hope that makes sense so you don't feel so alone and that you can start looking outside of yourself to have pleasure and connection. Thank you for listening to Secret Life Podcast. I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any topics you want me to talk about. Send it to secretlifepodcast@icloud.com. Until next time. Thanks again for listening to the show. Please subscribe, rate, share, or send me a note at secretlifepodcast.com. And if you'd like to check out my book, head over to secretlifenovel.com or Amazon to pick up a copy for yourself or someone you love. Thanks again. See you soon.